Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey, everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. I'm excited to see what we get to learn today. Thank you for being on our call live. Thank you for those who are listening to the podcast. It's great to have you all here. Just super grateful that we have this place to come to every morning to get re-centered, ready for to face the day, and starting out the day on a really high positive note in gratitude, and also learning. There's a lot of stuff that we get to learn. It's a sort of a mastermind type format where we're all sharing with each other and uplifting and edifying each other. And I can't think of any better way to start a morning. This morning, we're going to focus. I've got the timer set for 90 seconds. We're going to have a private silent meditation on gratitude for listening with the heart. One of our participants mentioned, let your heart listen, as we were doing our rounds of gratitude before we started the recording. And that really, I heard that, I think, with my heart, that was just a perfect focus for us today, was to just feel gratitude that we can listen with our hearts. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds and just write down whatever comes to you, your own personal inspiration on this subject of gratitude for listening with the heart. Begin. Okay. All right. A couple of things came up to me. First of all, there's so much more that you can learn if you look beyond just the words, or just beyond, even body language. There's so many different layers of information when we're communicating with someone. And I just had this thought just now. This wasn't in my private meditation, but I just am having this kind of aha, that as we are self-quarantined, where we're not actually in physical view of someone, that some of that body language, the body language is completely gone, unless we're maybe on Zoom or, doing a video chat where we can actually see facial expressions. But much of that body language, even on a video chat, is taken away. And so we really do have to, if we're going to get anything beyond just the words, we really have to listen with our hearts. We have to be open to understand intuitively what somebody is saying, and hoping that they are listening with their heart as we're speaking as well. I just want to give an example of that came to me. I've been working with a client who is Chinese. She works at a school, a Chinese immersion school. So she speaks Chinese in all of her classes, and the children, it's an elementary school, and the children, only hear Chinese from her. And she speaks English very well as well, but has a very strong accent. And the very first time I talked to her on the phone, I've never done a video chat. I've seen a picture of her, but I've never actually seen her face to face. And so I don't have those visual clues. So I really have to listen with my heart to understand her, because if I was just listening to the words, the way that she pronounces words is not always the same, that I've heard it before in America. And I have to repeat things back to her occasionally to find out, to make sure that I'm understanding her correctly. But I found that it has gotten easier. I allowed it the first couple of times that we met together. I allowed it to be a little bit difficult, and thought to myself, this is going to be hard to be able to understand her. And then, of course, realized that wasn't going to serve me, that wasn't going to help. And so I changed that and decided that I was able to listen with my heart and to really understand what she was trying to say. And it hasn't been a problem at all. Our call's only about 30 minutes long, and we get a lot accomplished in those 30 minutes. So it's amazing to me when we are open to it, when we allow it, and believe that we can understand people on a different level than just the words and the way that people are communicating. That we have that ability, that we're given a gift to be able to understand on a different level. Who else has something they'd like to share?
I'll share.
Okay.
So last night I was just asking some questions in my mind about specific purpose for something I'm experiencing right now. And this morning, I had the answer come, and I'm grateful that we can individually listen with our hearts, as to, to better understand the purpose for things that we experience, and just the ease at which the answers come when we do listen with our heart, when we don't fight that.
Beautiful. Thank you. I have something as well that I've asked the question over the last couple of days, and I have not received the answer. And I'm waiting patiently and just anticipating and expecting that that's going to come. And I don't know when it will be. Sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a week, sometimes, usually it's not longer than a week before an answer will come. But yeah, and how much easier life is when we just expect it. We just wait patiently for it. We know it's coming, and just go about our day and let it come and rest on us when it's time. Beautiful. Thank you. Who else?
I'll share.
Thanks, Melissa.
So I was thinking just about intuition and how get kind of similar to, I think that was Tammy, what Tammy said about just how much easier it is to receive, correct information when we're listening to our intuition and not our brain, and how much our brain just offers us all these horrible thoughts and, worst case scenarios and what ifs. And when we go into our intuition and ground, it's just a lot easier to feel peace and to trust ourselves that we will know the right answer. Also, another thing I was thinking of was when we have conversations with people and they say mean things or hurtful things or, rude words, if we can listen to them with our heart, then we'll see that those mean things that they're saying aren't actually about us, but they're about what's going on in their heart, and that they're, probably experiencing a lot of anxiety or whatever negative emotion is going on for them. And it's just coming out at us. But we don't have to react to their words. We can allow them to experience what they're experiencing and not make it mean anything about us. So I kind of have those two separate thoughts.
Love that. I want to comment on both of those. The first one, about using our brains to, and they conjure these worst case scenarios. In decision making, a lot of times we're taught to write down a list of pros, write down a list of cons, so you've got the cons and you have this worst case scenario, and we make, and sometimes that is a good way to make decisions. But I know for me, I've learned that I can make that list of pros and cons if I want to, but ultimately I'm going to go to my intuition. I'm going to ask God, I'm going to go what feels like the most correct, the most right, aligned, perfect way to proceed. And really, if I make my decision based on that intuition rather than the pros and cons, there are no cons. If I'm making a decision, this is my inspired shortcut to, what I'm supposed to do, what would be the most important and the easiest and the shortest and the best route for me to take, there's no cons in that. There's no negatives. It's all good. Even if it's a little bit difficult or challenging, it's all going to be good. And then the other thought that came to me, just an example of what you were sharing about the hurtful feelings. If somebody says something hurtful, it's really more about them than it is about you. My daughter is a grocery store assistant manager, and she has stories every once in a while that she brings home because, she's with the public all the time. And there was during this time, of the COVID-19, where things are a little bit different in the grocery store than they usually are. There was a lady paying for groceries, and then there was a lady right behind her. And I don't know the situation or what happened, but anyway, the lady behind her in line said something and was, trying to be uplifting and positive and happy and, was saying something positive. And the lady that was paying for groceries turned to her and said something, just spit something really rude back to her, like basically like mind your own business, or something like that. And it took the woman by surprise. And after the lady that was paying had left, she looked at the checker and she said, "That woman needs love." And I thought, what a great way to receive that, to realize that it wasn't about her, that mean thing that she said back to her didn't have to affect her. And she, still felt compassion. I thought that was really super Christ-like for her to feel that way. Any other thoughts that you'd like to share? We had a couple.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, we had a couple new people that joined us since we did our meditation. So I just wanted to let everybody know it's gratitude for listening with the heart. Rachel.
In my life, a lot of people, like through decisions I've been making or have made in the past when I was younger, they told me that I can't listen to my heart because it sometimes won't tell me the truth. And I've learned over time that is not true, that my heart doesn't lie to me. It teaches me, and it's really important that I listen to it because it will tell me the highest truth for me that I need to know at that time. And it's definitely my greatest teacher and director.
Beautiful. I think what it boils down to is being able to interpret, and because our brain has a lot of limiting beliefs. We have, a lot of past experiences, things like that, that can kind of jump in and jumble up that intuition, listening to your heart. But if we purely can step out of all of that, if we can, clear those limiting beliefs, just bypass our brain consciousness and get into our heart consciousness, it always, I 100% agree, and I know that to be true, that we can always trust it. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and shift over to our permission process. This is a really great place for us to just take a deep breath. And just as I've just suggested, and what Rachel kind of created the transition, the segue there for us, as you're breathing in, allow your brain consciousness to just kind of take a nap for just a moment. Take a deep breath and allow your conscious awareness to drop down into your heart. In fact, as you breathe in, just grab that your consciousness as you bypass your brain down into your heart area. As you watch your breath go down into your lungs, just allow that consciousness to drop down into your heart along with your breath. And maybe even tilt your head down just a little bit. Maybe you can have your eyes closed, but just tilting your head down so that your eyes are focused down towards your heart. And allow yourself to envision your consciousness, maybe just like a little mini version of yourself, sitting inside of your heart and listening in that just nice little cozy armchair, just listening from your heart area as we ask some questions and receive those answers. And the question I have for you today is, what lack I yet? What do I need to know to move forward? What are the skills that I lack that I can still develop that will help make life easier for me? What resources are available to me that I have not even realized? How can I be more creative with the resources that I already have? What lack I yet? What have I not seen in the past that I can allow myself, as I'm listening with my heart, to be able to see? Just being open to receive and to know what God would unfold to you right now in this moment. And in this new space of understanding, expressing gratitude for a new way of thinking, a new light on something possibly that you've seen before, a new perspective, or even a brand new idea that has that you've not been ready to receive until just this moment. And in this space of gratitude, being open also to know, what is the one most important thing that I can do today that would allow me to move forward, would be proactive action towards the next phase, whatever that is, towards completion of a goal. What's your inspired shortcut now that you have this doorway has been opened up to you? What is your inspired shortcut to step through that doorway and to be moved on to the next phase? And if there's a limiting belief coming up for you right now, just be aware of it, be open to know what that is. And with every limiting belief comes a cost. So if you have a limiting belief, identify or examine what the cost is. Notice what this limiting belief, the emotions and the feelings that it's producing inside of you. Notice the scenario that it will create, that the negative outcome that this limiting belief will actually produce if you give it full reign. And if you don't like that outcome, if that cost is too great, then you have the opportunity right now to give yourself permission to choose something different. So if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So let's choose like 2 or 3 new beliefs that will take the place of that old limiting belief, something that will empower you to continue forward, stepping through that doorway and continuing on your way in this new phase of your whatever you're creating. New beliefs that will give you courage and confidence, help you feel very powerful and strong, confident in moving forward. 2 or 3 new beliefs. And when you have that list of new beliefs, I invite you to look over those new beliefs and bring them in just as you were bringing in that breath, that air, that you breathe in these new beliefs and allow them to drop down into your heart as well. And that they strengthen your heart. Just even envision your heart, that there's an excitement and just a strength and a confidence that is added to your heart. It emboldens your heart, and that you have more, you're putting more heart into whatever it is that your inspired shortcut, whatever it is that you're creating, that your heart is in it, that you're willing to just throw your heart into it and allow your body to follow. And of course, just as the heart pumps blood out to every extremity, out to every cell of your body, allow these new beliefs to be pumped out to every cell of your body, so that not only are you feeling an emboldened heart, but you're also feeling that strength and confidence move out to every part of your body, so that it is becoming who you are, that these new beliefs are actually becoming part of you. And take note of the emotions, the feelings, the confidence, whatever words that you would use to describe the way that you're feeling right now. Really anchor that in by writing those words down and knowing that this is who you are now. From this moment forward, this is who you are going forward as. Stepping through that door, moving forward, new phase of life, new person. Stepping forward as a new person. In a moment, I'm going to open it up for some shares. I want to also encourage anyone who is feeling like they would like to have a conversation with me to go to AskWileen.com and schedule a 15-minute call. AskWileen.com takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call there. It's a free call, and this is we can use this time to address maybe a limiting belief that you have that keeps coming up that you're not able to get through yourself. Or we could also talk about, that next phase of your life. It's like, oh my gosh, I stepped out of my comfort zone and now I don't know what to do. This is all new. I would love to have a conversation with you, regardless of what you're feeling like you need a little extra support with. We can have that conversation. Who has something that they would like to share about their experience today?
Hello?
Just in keeping with everything, I find that when I am in doubt in which path to take, I usually just surrender and say, Lord, what is the truth about this situation?
Mm-hmm.
And as I wait, the answer comes. I just asking that one simple question: what is the truth about this situation?
Beautiful.
That helps me.
I love that. What a great practice that when you're in doubt, that you just surrender and ask God, what is the truth about this situation? Wow, that's super powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Sylvia.
Okay.
Who else?
I'll share.
Thank you, Tammy.
So my shortcut was to continue on in happiness and focus on the level of happiness that I have felt surrounding everything that I am working on manifesting currently. My limiting belief was that it's too hard to be happy. And my new beliefs are, I am happy. God wants me to be happy. I always choose happiness. And living after the manner of happiness is easy.
Beautiful. And I remember learning, I think in grade school, that it's fewer muscles to smile than it is to frown. So it's like actually easier to smile and to be happy than it takes effort to frown.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other shares before we end our call today?
This is kind of vulnerable to share, but I feel like I should. My limiting belief was my needs in my marriage won't be met, and this is really powerful call for me because it's exactly along the lines of what I've been thinking, that I respond in a victim way to my husband's actions. Like if he's angry or upset or having a hard time, I immediately take it personally, and it's like, why do I do that? And I'm just recognizing this week that I do that, and I don't want to do that because it doesn't create what I want. So my limiting belief was my needs in my marriage won't be met, but my new beliefs, I love the word that you said, Wileen, emboldened and stronger than before. Like, I really feel like that's what I want for my heart. My heart is emboldened and stronger than before, and my needs are met. I meet my own needs with God. And
beautiful.
I hold a space for my husband.
Wow, beautiful. Super powerful. I love how you are taking the responsibility for your needs to be met. It's awesome. Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and end our call today. Thank you everyone for everything that has been shared. I'm so grateful that all of those who are here live have the confidence to be able to share some of their deepest thoughts. It's super empowering for us. I know it also anchors in for you these thoughts when you speak them out loud. And this is a safe place to do that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. I love having this time with you every morning. It's just priceless. So thank you so much. And we'll look forward to tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Time. Thank you.
Thanks, Wileen.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Wileen.
Love you guys. Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WileenBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.